So in today's video, we are going to be talking about red flags you should never ignore. Now, I know in the context of this show, Married at First Sight, these people don't get a chance to meet their partner. So this really is just teaching moments for the rest of us, so that if we are going into dating relationships or anything with anyone, and we start to notice some of these signs that we're going to discuss today, we know that we need to pay close attention to it, explore it, and make some decisions. So let's get started with Chris and Paige. Pretty much from when this young lady walked towards him, his first words as he saw her was, "Oh, bleep." Now guys, that is never a good start. But he actually meant bleep, like, oh my gosh. And this is so devastating to watch. My God, this guy is so immature and so, oh my God, I don't even know where to start. He is a worry. Like, I am actually worried for this girl and her life, because in some ways, why have they set her up to go through this? I was like, is there nobody else that went through this whole experience that they could have thought may have been a better fit? And if there was no better fit, could they not just have decided that we can't match you? I mean, there are some serious red flags with this guy. And I know this young lady, Paige, literally said, like, you know, as he mentioned about being in an engagement only a few months ago. When we say a few months, we're talking about 3 months ago he broke it off, according to what he said. And she was like, this is a yellow flag. Now I was like, a yellow flag? Girl, if you were not already married, I am pretty sure that that flag color would have said red. And we do this to ourselves. We do this when we're trying to almost reason with our mind about something that we would never have been able to justify or reason before. But when you're in a situation like this, where you're married and, you know, you've made that commitment, it's so much harder. And I get it. And I know why she probably said a yellow flag. But girl, this is not a yellow flag. This is red flag behavior. The fact that he literally got into a relationship and now is married to someone he doesn't know. When did he apply for this? Like, I don't know when he would have actually sent him his application, or I've heard that actually the producers reached out to him. Why did they go and find this guy? Or please, if someone knows, I am just literally reviewing this as a normal person just interested in this show. So if you do happen to know how the process of Chris in particular getting into this show happened, please do let me know. Post a comment below and let me know. Because I really am like, you were engaged to someone only 3 months earlier than the day you getting married, also round about this time. And when would you have had to submit your application, or why would the producers reach out to you and actually think that you would be the best pick for this lady? Like, Paige seems like a really good woman. She seems like she's raised well. She seems like she actually has her head on her shoulders. And it's like, why would you as producers want to do this to this lady? Like, this match, I pray to God, absolutely does not break her spirit, because this level of stress that I can only imagine that they are experiencing at this very early stage of their marriage is serious. Like, I know it's TV and I know this is reality TV, so I try to kind of think, yes, they want to make the show engaging, but these are people's hearts. These are real people who are going into this, like Paige, with the purest intentions to find love, to find a long life partner in her husband. And this is the best match. Anyway, I think I've done my rant, but I'm about to get into what some of these red flags are. So we know that from the jump, he actually then confirms that, like, he just did not see the attraction as she came down that aisle. And I just thought to myself, wow, this guy has married a woman. He knows at some point she may see some of these recordings. Like, I know it's good to be honest, and I agree it's good to be honest, but his tact is his lack of care with his words is shocking. Like, it's actually shocking. And the worst thing is, it didn't stop there. So not only did he explain why he said what he said at the aisle, he carried on with this rhetoric with her friends. Now, guys, her friends, normally a guy is trying to make his best impression. He's going to be so careful not to kind of come off like a jerk, a whatever. This guy went in like these were his girls that he'd known for years and he was homies with and telling his deep, dark secret to. I mean, it was just so poor. It was poor. It was disrespectful. It was just tactless. I was like, is he doing this? Like, and it genuinely seemed like he was just genuinely being himself. And that is helpful because you actually are seeing and experiencing the real deal. But the fact that this guy actually went to the friends and shared that, you know, she's the total opposite than what I usually go for. Okay. And then he's like, well, I like the pretty girl. You know, I'm like, Jesus. What is the opposite of pretty, guys? What is the opposite of pretty? I was like, is this guy serious? Is this a joke? I'm surprised her friends held it together because I really do respect them. They were really trying to, you know, challenge, push back. They were doing their thing. But obviously, this is a wedding day, which is just diabolical that this guy would actually come and say such things to her friends. But he did. So we know that he doesn't have a filter, which can be dangerous because there could be things he says that could really injure and hurt this young lady. Like, I genuinely was like, his mouth is a little wild. He doesn't seem to have much restraint with even just when we saw his dad say the term, I hope she's not ugly. And if you haven't seen that, that was episode 2. It kind of gave me the insight that, oh, maybe this is learned behavior. Maybe this is just how these men talk in this family, or maybe this is just son learning from father's talk, because even for a dad to say that, I was like, whoa, okay, it's not the language you might straight away just say. But anyway, this dad did. So am I surprised that his son was very much like, yeah, she's not as pretty as what I normally go for. She's just not a trophy wife. And I get it. Everybody's got their different beauty standards. I personally am more like, what is this show trying to do? Are they actually genuinely telling us that this guy was the absolute best fit for this young lady? Like, I genuinely am just curious about the process of selection. Now, I get it. On paper, they seem like they are a good fit with the, you know, ambitiousness, the interest in like really trying to grow an empire, serve God, you know, and just build a family. All those elements I get. I completely get it. But there is a chaotic part to his story that is very raw and very recent. And that for me, I just can't believe that they considered this the best fit for this young lady. Like, genuinely speaking, where was the research? Like, where was the actual, we need to make sure that this is actually going to be something that doesn't dramatically injure, hurt, and harm anyone. And I really see some worrying signs here, guys. So I'm just ranting, but you know, I'm just gonna have to let it go because Chris and Paige, I have got some deep concerns. Like, and we ain't even into episode 4 where we already know that there is something big on the horizon that is coming with Chris. So let's just talk about what he said to her girls, okay? And I made some notes, guys, because I was like, whoa, this guy is hella hectic. Just hectic with his talk. And the fact that he feels like he is better than this young lady is what really was just the slap of all, because he really has just valued himself as better than her on the basis of looks, in my opinion, and he might think he has a bigger bank account. Now, we don't know if he actually really does, and I'm not even going to go into the finances and his ego, because Lord knows he already said he's reduced his ego, which is good to hear. And Paige's friends were like, oh, so you've never had a girl on your level in terms of maybe monetary level, being able to hold her own, have her own money, finances, have her ish together in that department. Whereas actually in his mind, I believe he was like, she's not on my level, because he is not looking at the finances. He is looking at the beauty standard. And in his opinion, he believes he is the star of that whole union. Now, in my opinion, he's just so monetary focused and superficial. The fact that this guy at the dinner table, whilst they were eating their wedding, then mentioned the size of his first paycheck. Yeah, I got $12,000. Bro, I was like, what? I am already praying for them. I'm already stuttering, because this is hectic. I was like, this guy, no one's saying you can't be proud of the fact that you earned. That's great. But I mean, you have to flash your cash, and you're saying you don't want women to be with you because of your money. That's a lie. You are loving the attention from women because of your money. And the fact that you then go and say that, $12,000, my first paycheck. What? Oh my God. I'm so glad that because he thought he was going to stun on her. You see, this is what, girls, ladies, gents, I tell you, I don't even know if I'm going to be doing this show. I don't even know if I'm going to be doing reviews on this show, because this guy actually thought he was going to stunt on this girl by saying, I'm the first black franchise owner of this particular brand in Atlanta. Like, okay, I see you're proud of your achievement. You're proud of being an entrepreneur of some sort. You're proud of where you've got to. And then he's like, and I'm about to close on a house. And he felt like, I made it. But girl, your girl done closed on a house, now has people paying her passive income each and every month, and you still haven't yet closed on this house. And this is why it was like, you see, you came to stunt with the same things you said you didn't want someone to judge you for, which was judge you on your money or be with you for your money. But the first thing you show is your interest around money and having these status things, being that you're an entrepreneur, you've got your own franchise, and you're about to go into real estate. So, and your $12,000 check. So it's like you're actually being hypocritical. Like, you're actually just telling us that you do want people to actually know that you are a man who feels self-made, maybe. You are a man who feels that you are of some value, and your value is being ascribed to what you have in your pocket, your monetary value. And this is sad when we have to always pump the income, and we have to drive with our income rather than our heart, rather than our values. And this guy has constantly banged the message of, I don't want to be with someone who, is only there for my money. But he led with money talk. He led with, I made $12,000 in my first paycheck. Like, he led with, I'm about to close a house. Well, she's already closed the house, got a renter in, and is making passive income. Like, you thought you were about to stun on this girl, but actually she has her ish together. And this is where he is going to absolutely learn a very tough lesson, that actually money cannot buy you everything, because he thinks that money is going to buy him all the respect from this woman. And this woman already has her own. So she's not going to feel completely bewildered by a man with money. I just don't see it. So now he's going to have to earn her trust and respect with something else. Now, this is where we're going to see how he goes about doing this. And Lord knows I am worried for this girl and her journey on this show, because you can see problems left, right, and center. Now, I'm not going to say it couldn't work, because I feel like Paige is someone who, because she's married and she's made that commitment, she is not about to walk away from that commitment very easily. But in my opinion, I would be very, very shocked if this couple make it right the way to the end and onwards from there, because there are many areas in which this guy really, really does need to work on. And yes, that can be done in a relationship, in a marriage. And I am really praying for them that, everything they're about to go through as a couple, that this doesn't break them spiritually, as individuals I'm talking. This doesn't break them spiritually or mentally, because this is a whole bag of stress coming Paige's way. And this poor child, and she's not a child, this poor lady did not deserve this. I really feel like there needs to be a complaint made in regards to the husband found, because I would be like, dear producers, I would like you to know that I am unimpressed with the selection made. Point number one. One of the saddest things that I saw as they were getting married, and even when she went to speak with her friends after it, she said his words were immaculate, but I felt no connection. Jeez! The energy doesn't lie, Energy does not lie. When you sense and feel someone's energy, that is telling you so much. Like, I really do pick up on people and energy, and different people might come around you, you get a vibe, you get an energy, and it's good to pay attention to those things, because even though you've met a stranger, we all sometimes get our first impression, our first taste, our first feel, our first vibe from that individual. And the fact that she really pointed out, she was like, his words were immaculate, but I didn't feel anything. She didn't feel chemistry. She didn't feel connection. And these things, they're crucial. They don't lie. Like and it's not that things don't change with people, but it's just good to pay attention to those first vibes. And she didn't feel a thing. And I think we all watched it, and I felt a little bit uncomfortable and awkward for the two of them, because even when he was like, do you want to kiss? Shall we kiss? Shall I kiss you on your forehead or your cheek? And she was like, yeah, it's okay. I was like, Lord, this is... Guys, I don't know if I'm going to be reviewing this show, because I'm just here as a ranter today. This is I think we can all see the red flags here. I really don't know if I could even point out any more, but I do have a lot more to point out. But I'm just like, I hope we are all seeing the red flags. And if you've not seen this episode, guys, you need to go and watch it, because I will probably do some videos on the other couples I may do some videos on the other couples, but I'm going to focus on these two just for today. So, tattoo. Chris has a tattoo of his ex-fiance name, okay? So his ex-fiance's name is tattooed on his arm. He breaks up with her 3 months ago or so, all right? Let's just say. And at the time of recording this, actually, no, it's probably not at the time of recording this. According to the episode that we've just watched, he broke up with her several months earlier, and the number 3 months has been thrown around as he broke up with her 3 months ago. He, days before his wedding, finally remembers there is a name of another woman on his body. Okay, sometimes Slight, slight memory loss. We all go through it, don't we? Because we all tattoo names of our partners on our arm, names of our fiancés on our arm, and then forget it. But days before our wedding, we remember their name. Yeah, every day you were washing whilst you've been praying for Paige, looking at the other girl's name. Lord have mercy. I tell you guys, I don't think I'm going to be doing this show. It's got a lot. It's a lot going. I just feel worried for this young lady. And this is what happens sometimes when we put ourselves in situations where, even though Paige is in this situation out of literally her choice to get married to a stranger, and I get it, but even for us who are just watching this, when we see red flags, not yellow flags, red flags, and we go into things regardless of the red flags, we are always putting ourselves at risk. And it's a big lesson that Paige is going to learn, whatever the outcome, whether she stays with her husband or whether she doesn't. There are many big lessons that they are going to learn. I mean, this guy at the dinner was asking random questions like, so do you wear designer shoes? Do you like designer shoes? Are you a virgin? Like, okay. Do you have a high sex drive? Are you on contraception? I was like, what the heck? I mean, thank God Paige had sense to be like, when it comes to the high sex drive question anyway, she was just like, I'm not going to answer that. Like, he has no filter. You worry about his lack of care with his words. Like, he's so inappropriate and doesn't even see it. And that lack of awareness is shocking, but also worrying. So, lots for him to learn. Lord knows, I wonder what his ex would be saying about him, because this is why it's like, damn, Jesus, this was the best. This smart, intelligent, beautiful queen. This man was the best. I'm not sure what he's come here to do other than maybe level up from the girl that he left. And because he, in his mind, in my opinion, believes that he has not leveled up on the looks front, I don't see him staying. I really don't. I know he said his reason for leaving his ex-fiance only 3 months earlier was because there was no trust. She didn't trust him and he didn't trust her. I mean, yeah, trust is a massive issue in relationships. And again, as she said, this is, you need to discuss those things. Like, in what way could you not trust each other? Were there other people involved in that relationship? Was it just, what was the lack of trust that you both were experiencing with each other? That is important to look at. But I think for me, there's so many red flags that I almost can't believe this is just been missed by the specialists. I feel for this girl. Like, this black woman is on national TV globally going through this with this guy, and you're like, I worry about her mental well-being. Let's get on to honeymoon baby and all of this sex talk and all of this talk about baby making and honeymoon baby and father-in-law giving daughter-in-law advice of just, a man works hard every day and, the best thing he needs after a hard day is for his loins to be taken care of. Now, I am not against married couples enjoying themselves as much and as often as they like. Enjoy. But it was just the emphasis from this dad that made me feel like, wow, this is like father, like son behavior going on. Because This guy, Chris, has only been banging on about, yeah, he does all the spiel about, I've fasted for 3 days and tried to purify my mind. I was like, Lord, don't come and gas this girl up with small spiritual acts that make you look one way, but you're a whole different thing. Just be yourself. He has focused on this 7 children and, really making sure his legacy gets out there. So it's important for him to make babies quick. And what is this? Is this about renting a womb or looking for the best womb to rent and maybe feeling like you're going to get a better womb to produce with than the ex you had? Because I really was like, what is this heavy emphasis on, just we gotta produce, we gotta go. I was like, what? It's not a bad thing to want and desire children. That's wonderful. And it's nothing to say you can't, make that clear to your partner. But I just felt like there was this heavy emphasis on basically let us get knocking the boots. Whether you want children or not, we're going to make these babies fast. And I know she wants children. We know she has a heart to be a mother, to be a wife and have her own family, which is great. But I just felt like there was this heavy emphasis on sex and kids now, rather than even just like Chris's mum said, just take your time to also get to know each other. Wait, don't just jump straight in. Just spend the time to get to know one another because of the circumstances. This is, as they use the term, this is an unorthodox wedding in some sense. So naturally you would think you might want to just have a moment to get to know each other before maybe thinking we need to actually think about children, just because of the circumstances. But again, the dad was, in my opinion, I felt like there was some inappropriate, unboundaried comments being made by the dad. And I'm not here to talk about people's parents or anything, but I just want to highlight that, I just felt there was a lot of conversation about her body and her shape that I did not feel was appropriate, and I'm going to leave it there. I'm praying for you, girl, Paige. I'm praying for you because I just think, marriage is such a serious commitment, and I truly believe you came to make that commitment before God to this man for it to be everlasting. And I just would dread if this was all being done just for ratings and these specialists or producers really took this kind of risk with someone's heart and mental and emotional well-being for a show. I mean, this thing had me in my feelings. As you can see, I'm not here teaching a structured video as I may usually. This is really just me processing what I just watched. One thing the dad did say, and she had asked for this advice, what advice would you give me? And the dad said, regular sex and don't be argumentative. But I almost felt like, was there a hint of, just agree with what his son says and does? Because I can see a lot of arguments arising from some of this foolishness that we've seen already. And I was kind of more curious about, is this their idea of submission? Just not to really say much and just... I shouldn't even go there. I might have to cut this bit out of the video because I have to do a whole nother video on the submission element, because I think this talk of submission came up in episode 2. Okay, so Paige is not the woman I wanted, but she may be the woman I need. Woo! You say that to her friends? Drop me out. Guys, drop me out. What's the best thing you like about Paige, your wife, so far since you've met her? Honeymoon babies. That was this husband's answer. So you have solely looked at this woman from a sexual angle of procreation, and that's it. That's the best. Her womb? I don't even think, this is ridiculous. What killed it, and I think I'm going to end this video here, is this guy with her friends said, I have a strong pull-out game. Nothing to say on this guy. He is immature. He is got a lot of work to do on himself. He's got a lot to learn, probably about relationships. There may be even more to him and his upbringing and childhood experiences and everything else that he may need or want to kind of start to explore, because this need to move from one relationship into something of a marriage like this, that in itself needs exploration. His comments were inappropriate. His comments were offensive. His comments were disrespectful. Even if you don't think your wife is as pretty as your ex, or you don't think she matches the beauty standards that you're used to, there's a lack of care in his wording, and that worries me, because that is how he may bruise and injure this girl's heart, just through simple lack of care of wording. And words matter, you know. We've all probably said and done things in our relationships, past and present, and one thing we can't really change is sometimes when we say things. And I pray that this man's words, choice of words, wording will be sensitive, and it will be respectful, and it will uplift rather than diminish. I almost feel like this video needs prayer, and I never want to speak ill of anyone's marriage, so I am only going to wish them both the very best. Oh, one good thing, I'm so glad that she's got her sisters, her girls, who kind of, you know, just and Nancy, shout out to Nancy, love you, girl. All of you, all three of you, but Nancy, you took it there, because Nancy was not having a bar of it. Nancy was not prepared for this guy to feel like he was a heavyweight, and his wife, her friend, was just any girl. She was not having a bar of it. So Nancy, shout out to you. You are a winner. You're a star girl. Guys, I hope you've enjoyed this video. Make sure you hit that like button and the subscribe and the bell so you never miss another video each and every time I upload. Take care and God bless. Bye.